my book hauls and book reviews, I rarely talk about the actual book covers themselves, and when I do, I don't really talk about them a lot, but I really love book design and typography and all of that, so this is kind of like a passion of mine, and they look so pretty all together, so I can't wait to show them off to you. This pile of books is in no particular order, but I'm going to start off with An Exclusive Love, a memoir by Johanna Dorjan. I don't know, what I love about this book is how vibrant it is and how the typography, the font is almost like just being put on with a marker, and it almost gives it like that handmade feel, and it's just really beautiful. I can't get over how just amazing this book cover is. This is by Penguin Ink, a series where two artists do book designs for books, for covers. I can't speak. I love it. I love how it almost just, it kind of comes out and it's just, I just want it on my skin. Look. It makes me so happy. When I got this edition of Little Women, I just couldn't stop kind of touching it because it feels so amazing. It's like Thread, because it's the Penguin Thread edition of Little Women, and it's just so beautiful. You just can't stop feeling it. I love that it has the almost old kind of feeling towards the pages, and Little Women is just a book that really suits the Penguin threads because of the fact that it's Little Women. And I love it's got best piano and Joe's manuscripts and everything, and it's just stunning. Zadie Smith's N.W., another vibrant book. I love that the kind of inside the font is like maps, like, you know, the street plan, the map of London, I guess. I'm assuming it's London because it's based in London, so yeah. What I also really like about these kind of books, like Little Women, I forgot to show you this in Little Women really quickly. Inside, because obviously it has flaps, it's actually the thread. It's like it actually is. Oh, get over it. Okay, what's wonderful with this, another Penguin book, is that inside the flap, is N and Zadie, and then W and Smith, and it just really stands out. I remember seeing it in Waterstones and just like gravitating towards it. Another Penguin book. This is, I think, the Street Art edition collection by Penguin. Yeah, it's What a Carver by Jonathan Coe. I fell for this book cover. I think this is actually one of the only books I'd actually wanted just because of the cover. I wouldn't have bought it just because of the cover though. I did then read the plot and synopsis and decided that actually the book sounds like a book I would really like anyway. But it just this book and probably the Little Women book is why Kindles don't really work for me, because look, I can't even deal with how good that is. I mean, it's bright and vibrant, and I'm sure many of us in the book community have quite a few problems with kind of movie tie-in edition of books, but I absolutely adore this book cover. The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. I love the colours, I love how atmospheric it is. I love that it doesn't shout kind of who's in the movie, and it doesn't shout that it's a movie edition, and it's just such a very atmospheric cover and really suits the book. I've picked two of my Penguin English Library editions. This is Villette by Charlotte Bronte. You can't actually see because my light's not too good, but this looks slightly more orange. It's actually a very, very vibrant kind of yellow. And again, it just stands out, and it stands out actually amongst the Penguin English Library Classics edition as well. It's a soft cover, which is just incredible, and they all look really amazing when they're lined up. Another beautiful Penguin English Library edition is Far From Man and Crowd by Thomas Hardy. I think this may be my favourite one of this kind of collection, because I really like bee print and it just really suits Thomas Hardy, because obviously Thomas Hardy is very pastoral and very kind of rural, and the bee design just goes really well. This is a collection of poetry by Ted Hughes called Birthday Letters, and I think it's published by Faber and Faber, or Faber and Faber Poetry. I'm not quite sure what they actually call themselves, the actual publisher. Faber and Faber Limited, yeah. I really love this because the colours, and I love that it's just based on the typography, that it's just the font. I really love when kind of publishers do this, they just use a font, because it really attracts you to the text, whether it's a novel or a poetry collection or whatever it may be. And also it really actually kind of emphasises the actual titles of the books, because I love titles. I have a bit of an obsession with them, and it really just focuses on that, which I like. And I guess it stops you having any kind of like preconceptions about what it'll be about, or kind of ideas, and it's just really left to what's inside. I've picked two vintage classic books, these two. The Collector by John Fowles. My friend says that this is, she does art, is a biro drawing, like a pen drawing. I really love how just the cream colour, it really brings kind of forward that beautiful, I guess, moth? Is that a moth? Yeah, I'm going to say it's a moth. It's just beautiful, and I also love the vintage classics that they have the red kind of thing, so when they all kind of line up they look beautiful. My second one is slightly a bit more personal reason why I love this cover. I love Sophie's Choice. I've literally wrecked. I read it so much. Sophie's Choice is a heartbreaking book, and this cover breaks my heart because of the book. I love when photographs are used for books, and it's just beautiful. I also love how the little girl's kind of dress is red, and the font is red, and the side is red. Also, the thing is with vintage classics, what I think they do so well at is, when I think my very first classic I read, well, no, it wasn't my first classic. The first classic that I actually owned in kind of book form was Jane Eyre. And when I was reading Jane Eyre in like year 9, I think, of school, it wasn't cool to read classics. And I didn't want to walk in with like having those penguin, this black penguin edition of the books. And I didn't want to walk into my lesson when we had like reading time with that book, because I didn't want to be singled out as kind of a geek or anything when I was young. I mean, I wouldn't mind being singled out as a geek. I just didn't want any attention, I guess, to the fact that I was reading a classic, which is kind of bad, but that was more my school, I think. And Vintage Classics had a really beautiful edition of Jane Eyre, and it didn't look like a classic, so I was allowed to kind of read it and not be, I guess, I wouldn't have been bullied for it. I mean, I was obviously a very sensitive child, but anyway, they give a very contemporary look to classics and make them, I think, more accessible, which is a great thing. I now have 3 hardbacks. I don't own that many hardbacks. I don't really read hardbacks, actually. It's just not like a thing I do. Start off with Religion for Atheists by Alain de Botton. I love this design. I love the font. It just really goes well with the subject matter. And the design is like biblical, and it just works so well. Just Kids by Patti Smith. I love how it's got like a letter at the back. I love this picture of Patti Smith and Robert Mapplethorpe, and it just sums up this novel itself as kind of their story and them at this kind of time. And it's a lovely book. I love how good it looks. And On the Road by Jack Kerouac. I really want to read On the Road, but I didn't really like the paperback edition, so I kind of splashed out some cash on this edition because it's beautiful, and again I love the colours and the simplicity of it, and I think that's actually his own drawing, I think. Front cover, holographic, yeah, I don't know, yeah, I think that's actually drawn by him. That certainly is anyway, and that's Oh, I'm hitting myself in the face with the book. Oh, I love it. I really do. I'm sure there are so many more that I could show you, and I love book covers, and I don't buy books just because of the cover, but I always buy the best cover available when I buy a book. And I love book covers. In a lecture recently, my lecturer said about the importance of books as objects and how we look at how books have been kind of designed and how they've been marketised as a way to looking at society at that time. And that was fascinating. And, you know, books are interesting as objects and as kind of reading matter and things. So, yeah, these are my favourite covers so far in my very short life. Ah, they've just fallen over! Oh, damn it! Ah! Oh, this is not going well. Okay, bye.